Hi, I'm Julia, Reference Librarian at McAllen Public Library. Welcome to the Virtual Traveler, where we'll be exploring the world using Google Street View. Be sure to stay tuned after the tour for some library book recommendations. Here in South Texas, we don't really have 4 different seasons, but right now is the middle of winter. So this week we're visiting the Scandinavian country of Norway, a place that has a real winter. The Google camera car doesn't really travel around in bad weather, so in some of these places you'll just have to imagine the snow transforming it into a winter wonderland. The winters in Norway have long dark nights because of its northern latitude, but the flip side of that is that the summers are very light with short nights. Norway is the northernmost country of the Scandinavian peninsula, but because of its maritime climate and long coastline which helps moderate the temperature, the climate is not quite as cold as you might expect for such a northern location. Norway is actually a kingdom that has existed continuously for 1,148 years, since the year 872. The indigenous Sami people are a Finno-Ugric group who live in the northern parts of Norway, Sweden, Finland, and the Kola Peninsula of Russia. In Norway, they have a certain amount of autonomy through the Sami Parliament and the Finnmark Act. Norway consistently ranks at the top of various World's Happiest Country reports, and this is due in large part to their universal healthcare system, comprehensive social security system, free public education to the university level, and egalitarian social ideals. The Norwegian government owns large parts of key industrial sectors, such as petroleum reserves, natural gas, minerals, lumber, seafood, and fresh water. On a per capita basis, Norway is actually the world's largest producer of oil and natural gas outside of the Middle East. Norway also has one of the lowest crime rates in the world, and the 4th highest per capita income anywhere in the world. Now that we know a little bit about what Norway is like now, let's talk about its history. The first known inhabitants of Norway were the Arensberg culture, which existed from the 11th to 10th millennia BC, and were a late Upper Paleolithic culture. The period of history that Norway is most famous for is the Viking Age, from the 8th to 10th centuries AD. The Vikings were a seafaring people who colonized, raided, and traded in all parts of Europe. They were expert navigators who reached as far as North America, the Mediterranean, North Africa, and the Middle East in their characteristic longships. At home, they were farmers, fishermen, and craftsmen. Although they did not produce a literary heritage on paper, they had an alphabet and described their world with inscriptions on runestones. The Vikings were actually the first Europeans to discover North America when Leif Erikson discovered Newfoundland in Canada around the year 1000 AD. It was also around this time that Christianity arrived in Norway and the native Norse religions were outlawed, but modern interest in the old ways has led to a revival of these traditions. If you want to learn more about the Vikings or watch the popular fictional TV series based on them, come check out the collections at the McAllen Public Library. In the meantime, check out some of the best-selling novels by Norwegian authors Jo Nesbø and Karl Ove Knausgaard on our ebook apps. This was Julia, and thank you for watching. Be sure to follow MPL Adults on Facebook and McAllen Public Library on YouTube, and don't miss any of our virtual programs.